Aloha to all of you, it's me, the Traveling Bee. Grab your wings, we're on another trip. Welcome to the Hawaiian Islands. Our excursion today takes us to Koke'e State Park on the upper elevations of the west side, here on the beautiful garden island of Kaua'I. Welcome to Kanaloahuluhulu Meadow, located up here at the Koke'e Lodge and Museum area. This is a short little hike around the museum and lodge area with some native and indigenous plants. In the background, you see people brushing their shoes off, and that's to protect bringing in any foreign seeds into the native forest. Oh, the Kaua'I wood. We have Wait, which one is the Kaua'I? Kaua'I with the little berries. It's this one. Yep. Now these we use for hula instruments. We take the sticks. We use the kala'o to keep in rhythm with the song and to also use symbolic gestures and movements. And it symbolizes the places like the forest, where you would have storms and wood clanging around. And again, we only use the wood that has died or fallen off the tree. We don't cut it down. We don't have tornadoes in Hawaii, but during Hurricane Iniki, we had quite a few up here in the forest. This is the kupa fern. See it? You can see it along in the forests of the Pacific Northwest. That's for sure. Here's a young Ohi'alehua tree right here. And you can tell by the various stages of growth. So let me show you. Okay, calamite, aloha. Okay, so these are the very young shoots, like a mu'o. Mu'o is when it starts to open, blossom, but it's just the leaf, not the flower. We also have these blossoms that are a little bit gray in color, we call it. And then we have, here's a mu'o. That's a mu'o. That's a hula move. And then we have the liko. Liko is like the opening bud or blossoms coming out. And then you get these. Now you can use all of these stages of the leaf and the flowers in any stage here. I don't think we're picking them for lei anymore because this tree is being attacked by rapid ohia death, also known as rod. But these are one of the most important trees when it comes to making lei for hula. And we're lucky we still have some. All right, moving right along is not to get left behind. The Ohi'alehua tree is one of the many examples of plants up here that we specifically use in leis for specific songs dedicated to certain gods, chiefs, or people, or events that happen. So Ohi'alehua represents Laka, the goddess of hula, and even Pele, the goddess of the volcano, and her family. And depending on the materials that you use in your lei with your costume, it's representative of what you're dancing about or where you're dancing. Here's another example. This is the a'ali'i tree. We have a proverb that says, ku ka'ali'i kamakani, which means the a'ali'i stands firm in the wind. This is indicative of a strong person or something that you want to say to help support people. And the flower and leaves from this tree is also used in lei and to symbolize whatever it is within the chant or the dance that they're dancing to. And we're coming up on a patch of palapalai fern. This is a most important fern, along with another one called pala'a that you find in this area, that is used in lei for dances for gods and chiefs, and even used for offerings, and represents the heart of the forest. One of the main things about dancing hula in some dances is we dance in a bent knee style called aiha'a, because you want to be as close and connected to the earth or the honua as you can while dancing hula. It represents humbleness. While you're dancing, if your legs aren't burning doing the aiha'a, you're not doing it right. Nice tall koa. That would be a good one to use for a canoe. Remember, check to see if the elapayo bird is eating from the tree. That means it's dying and it has bugs. Polynesians were expert wood carvers and canoe makers, and they created lashes to lash the canoe together, and even used the sap of the breadfruit tree and glued pieces of the canoe together. Pacific Islanders as a whole were master navigators and navigated the Pacific Ocean by the elements, the wind, the wave patterns, birds, stars, the sun, and the moon. Sign. Oh, ohe, ohe. Okay, now ohe is bamboo. This one is a member of the umbrella tree, ginseng. And speaking of bamboo, we have Hawaiian bamboo here in the islands, used for many things, including a hula instrument that sounds like rain hitting the leaves. One of the biggest reasons that the lehua tree and ferns symbolize Pele and her family is because Pele creates land, and those are the first plants that grow out of the lava fields. Moving right along, see, there's palapalai man everywhere. And then we have another one that's a little more fragile called pala'a. So the ohia lehua. We are just in a beautiful canopy of lehua, koa, and a beautiful trail of ferns. Ama'u palapalai lawa'e. This is pala'a. I don't know. It's hard to tell. That looks like pala'a. The leaves are a little bit different shaped. Now, you can't just go anywhere and pick this stuff. We do have what's called Native Hawaiian gathering rights, in which if you're using the material for religious reasons, Hawaiian cultural reasons, you get permission to pick. A very important concept in Hawaii is you only take what you need, and that makes more for the next generation. This beautiful softwood tree grows little white flowers, and only on the island of Kaua'I does this tree grow. Sadly, the amount of the native species of birds and trees and plants are extinct forever. One thing that we're trying to save are the Hawaiian snails that make a noise, a whistling sound, as their shell hangs slightly off of the leaves in the trees. We call them pupu kanioi, the shells that whistle or make noise. And the University of Hawaii has a collection of living ones that they drove to some other area on Oahu, from one place to the other, and it became some kind of a world record. Snails traveling the furthest in the fastest amount of time. A little bit of humor for a very important part of saving Hawaii. Below us is the Kanaloahuluhulu Meadow, and it's used annually for a wonderful event, the Queen Emma Festival here at Koke'e. Queen Emma was the wife of King Kamehameha IV. She had a son, Albert Edward Kaleopapa. Sadly, he died at the age of 4, and Kamehameha IV died shortly after that. Queen Emma spent time here on Kaua'I, and she took a horseback riding trip to the Alakai swamp that you get to from up here at Koke'e. And to honor that trip that she took to the swamp and all around the area, we honor her in a hula festival in which hala hula come from all over the state and many other places to pay homage by dancing and chanting. It's an all-day event. A person is chosen to represent Queen Emma, and she rides in on horseback in a procession, and it's a lovely day of ceremony and hula dancing. It was a privilege to be able to dance here with the halau hula, the school of hula that I danced for with my hula master, my kumu hula, Pohaku Nishimitsu. He passed away in 2006. And as we say in Hawaiian, ika hula ana vaiho kahila hila ikahale, which means when you dance hula, leave your shame at home, because when you hear a good hula song, you want to get up and dance. Modern hula is like that. And our kumu hula used to always say, when you hear a modern hula song that you know, you better get up and dance to it. Yeah, a privilege and an honor. And it's interesting how, looking at all of the trees and fern, how I'm so deeply reminded of hula. And that just goes to show the connection between nature and hula and acknowledging the elements around you, knowing that everything here in this forest has a spirit and has a name. And that's what gives hula such deep meaning. And the memories run deep, especially since I did dance hula up here with my kumu hula that I was so fond of, and my hula brothers and sisters, some of them who are no longer with us. And so that's what makes this even more special. So we came up from that side where the canyon is, and if you keep going further down the road, you will end up at the Kanaloahuluhhulu Valley Lookout. But the road is so bad that they can't take you up in the mini luxury vans. So we'll have to come back for that because it's a place we don't want to miss either. Kanaloahuluhhulu Valley is located on the Napali coast, which is the inaccessible area of the island unless you hike there or you go by water, or you can see it by helicopter. And it's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see in your life, the entire coastline. But camping is allowed there. People have lived there, and I don't mean just the ancient Hawaiians. It's kind of it used to be a hippie camp back in the 70s, and you find a lot of people out there, but many times that trail and the 11-mile hike has to close because of flash flooding. Yeah, people get stuck over there. And on a funnier note, flooding isn't the only thing flashing over there. They like to walk around naked. Here's a beautiful lolu tree that they could use one of those fan palms to cover up with. This is the lodge and restaurant area. As long as you're not driving, come on in. Have something to eat, grab something to drink. Okay. Smells good. Here's something a lot of people don't know. We have pheasants. Yeah, they run around all up here. Isn't that nice? I mean, it's a beautiful bird. And we're back down at Kanaloahuluhulu Meadow with the famous Kaua'I roosters. I personally love the roosters and chickens, and the little chicks are so cute, but some people don't, and that's okay too, but just be kind to them. We'd be wearing Fat Jimmies of Hawaii. Don't just be fat, be comfortable. Traveling Bee trips are filmed entirely on location in Hawaii. A big mahalo nui loa to all of you for joining me, the Traveling Bee, on this exciting trip up to Koke'e. And remember, folks, the shaka sign is the official gesture for the state of Hawaii, and you don't need to live in Hawaii to share the aloha. Share that shaka and share the aloha. And as we say here in Hawaii, until we meet again, a hui ho and aloha!